Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail.
Wow, everyone. Hey. Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show, Transformation Talk Radio and the Transformation Network. So many of you asked me, how do we find out about any of this stuff? Well, Jessica put together a great landing site that you can go to find out about exactly what the Transformation Network is. You know, many of you think that it's the Dr. Pat Show and the 1 hour we do. Some of you are familiar with Transformation Talk Radio. But if you go to the transformationnetwork.com, that's the transformationnetwork.com, you can see what it is that we've not only grown into because of all of you and what you're asking for, but you're going to get a sneak peek of what we're about to grow into. You really want to get inspired. Really want to get inspired about what's coming with our crowdfunding initiative. Go to Positive Mojo Movement. Yep, that's it. We are happy about that. You know, I got to introduce all of you. This is really so fun. I know somebody that's super, super happy about connecting with all of you. You know, when I met her, the only thing I could think of, a phrase, what for Emily Perkins was angelic. There was this sense of her, this kindness of her, speaking with her as she was traveling around the country. You know, this sense that there is something she's called to do to bring absolutely love and living holistically together to the forefront of her life. You know, when we think about our calling and our passion, how many of us get tapped on the shoulder with, I want to say an emotion. Maybe I want to say it's a heart opening, but the tapping that goes on in our hearts to love living holistics and to look at what that means when we're thinking about living holistics and we're thinking about the essence of that and how we feel about integrating it all into our lives, whether it's this passionate, holistic lifestyle practitioner, Emily Perkins, that we're going to be talking with today, whether it's her coaching, whether it's Reiki healing, all of the above, it's about creating a better life. That's what it is. You know, she also created the Female Entrepreneurs Networking Group, and we're going to hear about that. So what is it about this idea of shining a light on holistic living, of bringing forth the energy of that gets Emily to wake up every day, talk about it, live it, breathe it, and tell the world about it. Emily, it's great having you here. Welcome.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I am so excited to be here. So excited to start spreading all this love and joy and just connecting with everybody out there, especially you. My gosh, especially you, Pat.
Well, I tell you, you and I, we've got a lot to talk about because, you know, here you are, you've just come back traveling, and we'll talk about that. But something tapped you on the shoulder, and somehow, some way, you've become, you know, one of the most sought after people when it comes to holistic living, when it comes to the idea of learning and teaching other people. You know, this is really where they come, to bring women together as well, to do this, to understand this. What happened? How did you become you?
It's been such a fun journey. Oh my gosh. It's been this really beautiful organic flow throughout my life, which I'm really fortunate about. I've had a really beautiful, supportive family, a beautiful, supportive community in Newport, Rhode Island. But so much of what has kind of built and led me into the different facets of me and my practice has really been this really organic guidance. And the only way I can explain it really is this essence of love and this intuitive stream inside of who I am, I guess, inside of my being. And it's really kind of guided me and led me through each phase, and you said earlier, like that feeling, and that's really what has kind of progressively led me forward, like literally taken me by the hand and led me forward. And at the very core of that is really love. It's in the fabric of who I am, but it's in the fabric of what I do and how I do it, and how I want to experience life. So
yeah. But you've been out there. This idea of stepping into a holistic life, holistic living. Those of us that are talking about this today have had our own unique journeys, right? But for you, you're someone that you're kind of like me, been labeled this sensitive kid, right? Sensitive. We're sensitive. And, I used to think that was like an insult. Now I'm like, oh, it's so cool.
Oh, yeah. To me, it's a huge compliment now.
Yeah. But not so much, right, growing up, right? Unless you had, no.
Yeah. Growing up, it's challenging. It's challenging because sensitive, from that perspective, especially as a child, kind of makes you feel weak in some ways. And so, being an empath, which, is someone that both feels and absorbs energy around me, and it's so common. It's crazy common. We don't even realize how common it is. But being that tuned in to the world around you and what's going on within you makes it really challenging. And so when you're that sensitive and you can feel it all, especially as a little kid, you think, oh man, there's got to be something wrong with me.
Yeah.
Or, like, why do I get so tense and agitated when I'm around a huge group of people? Or, like, how do I be in social situations and still be me? It's definitely challenging, especially in New England. There's a different energy and a different vibe and a hardness a little bit inside of New England, and a density, considering 40% of our population is on the East Coast.
Yeah.
There's a lot of energy to deal with.
It's a lot of energy. And, those of us that have really struggled in a crowd, even if the crowd is our family, we've gotten this reputation that at some level we're unapproachable, right? They look at us as if there's something wrong, right? But yet inside, we're pretty scared, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, it can be really lonely. It can be really lonely as an empath and as a sensitive person, because sometimes the things that you have to do in order to feel grounded in yourself is to sometimes, pull away or be a little bit more internal. Or sometimes being sensitive and getting into the holistic realm can sometimes be hard for people to relate to also. So, yeah.
I know.
It can sometimes be a lonely journey.
But, it's interesting. We're talking about this and we're talking about sort of the background. But, you've created Love Living Radio. That's going to be your fabulous new show. But the question is, how do we get to become us? There are things you've learned along the way, right, that have helped you understand the beauty on the outside for you and the beauty on the inside. When we come back, we're going to talk with Emily about how did Love Living Holistic come to be? How did we change that shy, empathic young woman to somebody that is out into the world, an entrepreneur, a spokesperson, healer, all of the above, both intuitively and organically. Emily Perkins, everyone. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to talk about the journey and the gift. We'll be right back.
There goes my heart beating, 'cause you are the reason I'm losing my sleep.
Tune in to Lucid Planet Radio with Dr. Kelly Neff. This hit show will illuminate your senses and empower you beyond your daily stressors and hardships. Renowned psychologist and author Dr. Kelly will captivate you with far-reaching topics and amazing guests as you wake to the greatest version of yourself. Learn to tap into your intuitions, think critically about our world, heal emotional and psychological wounds, and follow your passions to live your dreams. The Lucid Planet. Welcome home. Visit lucidplanetradio.com for more information.
What is a brilliant culture, and how do we create them? Why are they important? Claudette Rowley has created a breakthrough 5-step process to help you align your culture with your business strategy for exceptional results. Looking for a culture that drives organizational excellence? Listen to Cultural Brilliance Radio, the second and fourth Friday of each month at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern on Transformation Talk Radio. To learn more or work with Claudette, visit culturalbrilliance.com.
Are you looking for the perfect setting for your next workshop or retreat? At Spirit Fire Meditative Retreat Center, cultivating consciousness is what we do best. Our guests count on us to create an atmosphere that supports serenity and well-being. We lead from the heart and create space for the mind. Freshly prepared meals designed with local and organic ingredients, 95 acres of beautiful woods and pastures, and a facility built with green in mind. This is what you'll find at Spirit Fire. For more information, visit spiritfireretreatcenter.com.
Do you ever feel as if you're working twice as hard but only getting half as far? Are you trying to connect with your path in life and finding it elusive? Mainstream Metaphysics Radio is a weekly call-in show where we harness our connection with the universe and use what is in our power to affect change for optimal success and happiness. This hit show bridges the divide between what is and what we do not know. Eve, named one of the country's top psychics, also known as the MBA Psychic, invites you on this journey for this live call-in show with readings, featured guests, leaders, and visionaries in both business and spiritual callings. So join Eve Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com as she takes metaphysics mainstream. For more information about Eve, visit EliteTarot.com. That's EliteTarot.com.
Best-selling author, spiritual life, and business coach Joe Nunziata brings his higher energy and no-nonsense style to people who are ready to make powerful changes now. Wake up, step up, power up with a shot of Joe. Join Joe the second and fourth Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern for 30 minutes of high energy, no nonsense, and powerful tools to make powerful changes. Visit joenuns.com. That's JOENUNZ.com.
Please come back now. And there goes my mind racing, and you are the reason that I'm still breathing. I'm hopeless now.
Yeah, boy. Benny, thank you. Hey, everybody, welcome back. So great to have all of you tune us in and turn us on. You know, what is it that all of us, what is it that we so long for in life that may actually elude us as we take on the journey? And, you know, that's what's so cool about Emily joining us here today. I want to make sure that all of you know how to find out more about Emily, because she is the owner and founder of Love Living Holistics. And we're going to talk about that for a minute. But before we do, Emily, please let folks know how they can find out more about you, about the community you're building, all of the above, about working with you. Yeah, that.
Yeah. They can find me. Everybody can find me probably most easily through my website, which is www.lovelivingholistic.com. And that's a really great resource for all sorts of information about the practice, about my blog, the radio station, all sorts of good, yummy stuff that they can find on my website.
Yeah, and I want to say to everybody here that for those of you out there, Emily does something really cool. She offers free 1 hour sample coaching. But what we're doing here on the show is we have, for the first 2 people that call in, each of you are going to receive a free 1 hour session with Emily to explore things, explore life, explore who you are, what you want to change, what you might want more of. And I think we can do the first 2 callers, Benny, 1-800-930-2819. We'll take one at a time. There's some FCC regulation about that. 1-800-930-2819. For those of you out there that want to create everlasting change, want to get a little bit of what Emily's created, give us a call. Benny will get your information. Let's talk about what you have created, if we could. Listen, you're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. Here we go. You know, somewhere along the way, I don't remember saying, I want to be an entrepreneur. That's just what it is. But we are that. And from being that, we've cultivated and crafted a level of confidence. You know, my friend Sarah Main calls it conscious confidence. That's what she talks about. But for you, what is it about you? How did Love Living Holistics come to be? And, you know, I'm curious about what kind of challenges you had with that, because I'm telling you, I've had some challenges here doing this.
You know, it's funny because, like, the first thing that I think of when you ask what were the challenges is like, oh, well, you know, so much of creating my practice has been really fluid. But, you know, there's been little bumps and, like, figuring out how to do so much because I didn't go to business school. You know, like, I grew up in a super entrepreneurial family. Almost everyone on my mom's side is an entrepreneur. So I had, like, this really cool foundation and support in knowing that, like, okay, you can actually do this. You can make a living being an entrepreneur and be successful at it. And when I was a little kid, you know, like, I think it's just surprisingly been in my blood since I was little. My best friend and I used to sell painted rocks by the side of the road at like 8 or 7. I started a jewelry business when I was 18. It's always been something that's kind of been this creative process for me. But, you know, all of those have kind of had their little bumps and zigs and zags for sure, trying to figure out how to start an LLC, trying to get a good accountant, like weird, funny little things that you don't know how to do unless you go to business school, which I didn't. And so much of it you just kind of figure out as you go, which I think you could probably attest to.
Yeah. And, you know, if we're lucky enough, we get some angels along the way that help us out. And I know for me, Linda stepped in to do production for us when my producer disappeared, because back in the day, it was just me. It wasn't this phenomenal team of people. And, you know, when Linda stepped in to do that, it was very clear that she had no knowledge. And I said to her one day, listen, I need some shows editing. So she sat in New Jersey, accessed a computer here in Washington State remotely, somehow figured out how to edit shows with there being a time lag between the sound wave and what she was hearing. And, you know, part of that is in the process of saying yes. That's what you did. See, you did that. You said yes. I said yes. And from that, something gets created. Something gets born, right? And for you, where did it begin for you? Where did it start? At, I mean, when did it start? Like as a teenager? How did this all come to be?
I think that the energy of it started when I was really little. I always knew that I was a healer on some level, and then I think I always on some level knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. But, that got fostered a lot in high school as I took on leadership roles, both in sports and in performance. And then in college, kind of getting into who I was, and then leaving college and traveling and backpacking across Europe was just spectacular. You learn so much about yourself when you're traveling, especially abroad. And then coming back and really digging my heels in and starting to jump right into creating my own practice. It was just this kind of like, the way that I always see my life is like this sequencing, like these steps, that just kind of lead one to the next. When I step into one version of myself, it helps to lead me to the next version of myself. And, the pieces and the doing part of it just aligns with kind of like wherever I am in my being at that moment. So, I started in aesthetics, which is, skincare and beauty, which I love and is a beautiful part of my practice still. And getting my hands on someone for the first time kind of led me really naturally into figuring out, okay, what's going on here? What is this energetic exchange that I really need to actually understand and hone? And that led me into Reiki. And then going deep with people in my Reiki sessions led me into wanting to become a coach and really support people in looking at all of it and being with all of it and then creating what they really, really want. Because there's nothing that I love more than connecting with people on that soulful, beautiful level and just holding their hand as we walk forward.
That had to be like coming home. The expression coming home?
Oh, yeah.
It had to be like that because, I know for me, the first time I got behind a mic, it was completely transformative for me. People say, how does a girl from the Bronx, blah, 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 you fill in the blank, right? But it doesn't matter where you come from. The universe doesn't say, where are you from? And because you're from there, I think maybe we'll give you this to do or that to do. That's not the way it goes. And yet sometimes we think that we're limited. But you stepped out in the world. You stepped out. And I'm so curious about what that means to you to be out in the world and what the message is that you're bringing forth for people.
Yeah. It is funny. You said being a girl from the Bronx, being a girl from Newport, Rhode Island feels the same way. It's this beautiful, small little town. But the size of my spirit, the power and the passion of my spirit has always kind of like pushed me a little bit further, pushed me to go travel, pushed me to connect with strangers. And I think that's kind of, again, that fuel behind me wanting to connect with the world, connect with as many people as I possibly can. And a big piece of that connection is through what I know as my life purpose, which is love, spreading and sharing and really tapping into the potential of it. We talk about it in so many different kinds of ways about like what love is, but the potential that it has is just so, it's cliche, but it's so unlimited. It's so unlimited. And I think that's really the mission. It's the essence, it's the energy and the frequency behind why I'm out there, why I'm trying to connect with people, and why I am connecting with people.
Right.
To generate as much of that as possible.
One of the things we'll talk about when we come back is, listen, what is this? What does this mean? Living holistics. What does it mean? What is the sense of this intuitive and organic nature of this? And the passion that you've created for connecting with others and the deeper into the beauty of the soul work that you do, right? You have a coaching platform around it. You have the reality of healing that is your talent and gift. And for those of you out there, we'd love to give a session away. 1-800-930-2819. 1-800-930. We'd love to give us a full 1 hour coaching session with Emily away. Please give us a call. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, there is a mission here. Each of us has a mission. You know, I'm putting together a funding presentation for a bank, and they ask you questions about what's your mission, what's your credo, what do you believe in? And it was fascinating to me to sit down and get that upfront and personal with what we're creating. When Emily comes back, we're going to talk about this upfront and in-person nature of intuitive, organic, holistic, and living it. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Curious about the meaning of life? Do you want to deepen your spiritual practice? The School for Esoteric Studies offers online training to spiritual seekers from all paths of life and individual coaching. Our courses synthesize Eastern and Western spiritual traditions based on meditation, study, and service applied to everyday life. The school also organizes group meditations each year to benefit humanity. Whether you're just beginning to reflect on the spiritual side of your life or are a more experienced spiritual seeker, the school warmly welcomes you to join our group. To learn more about our courses and services, please visit esotericstudies.net. That's esotericstudies.net.
On the cutting edge of the new mainstream, Christine Upchurch is passionate about bringing together science, psychology, and spirituality in a way that can be applied to our everyday lives for true transformation. The Christine Upchurch Show, stellar conversations to illuminate your journey, engages some of the most outstanding visionaries on the planet in lively dialogue to inspire you to become that bright light you're meant to be. Join Christine every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time on KKNW, AM 1150, and Transformation Talk Radio.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit jenroyster.com for more information.
A word of caution: if you prefer the status quo and you are not interested in improving every aspect of your life, this book will trigger the shift out of you. The Truth is Funny, Shift Happens is available now. Author Colette Steffen brings the powerful knowledge and life-changing energy and empowerment from the radio airwaves to the pages of her new book. To get your copy in paperback or ebook, visit thetruthisfunny.com today.
Amber Teal, founder of The Healthy Edge, is bringing you the hit show Healthy Edge Radio, living with power, passion, and purpose. Amber provides the support and tools necessary for you to finally release the weight and emotions that are hidden beneath the weight. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio. For more information on how you can take the next step with Amber, visit getthehealthyedge.com.
Skies with your broken keys. No one can blind us.
Oh, well, man. Thank you, Benny. Thank you for that. Hey, everybody, welcome back. It's really great to connect with all of you. Thank you for tuning us in, turning us on. So thrilled to introduce all of you today to somebody you're going to hear a lot more from, Emily Perkins. And as we said before, there are plenty of ways you can find out more about Emily, the work she does, and how to contact her. Emily, can you take a minute and let folks know how they can do that?
Yeah, so the easiest way is usually probably through my website, which is lovelivingholistics.com. But if they want to get me directly, they can also call me. And my direct line is 401-480-1676. And you can also find me on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram's usually a little bit more fun. It kind of tells more of a story. And that's also Love Living Holistics. So there's all sorts of ways to stay connected and get in touch with me.
Awesome. Okay, so, before the break, we were talking a little bit about, here you are, you step out into the world. And what you're looking at now is the mission, your calling, what you're called to do. And I was saying that I'm preparing a presentation for a bank to accelerate our technology and help us in that way. And I've had to write all these things about what I believe about the company, the direction, the future, what I believe about the world of radio. And, I know what I believe, but I've never really thought about putting it down on paper. And so I ended up writing like this credo of what we've developed here that nobody but us really knows. We don't really share it with the world, but they become then these things in life that we're called to do. And we've said yes to doing them, right? And I sat here this morning and I wrote something like, we believe radio and advertising must change. And so do the cultures of the companies broadcasting them. So I've never said things like that. I've never said, we believe in a world where people have control of what they hear and see and retain the right to choose their level of interaction with an audience. And, we never talk about that. And so I have these bullet points that sound a little like, really? And I came to this realization looking at preparing for the show with you today, that it's been a lifetime to understand what the mission or what I believe or what is the credo that sets a radio network in place. What does Jessica believe? And this is part of your journey. Part of your journey is determining what you, Emily, have come to believe, and then taking what you believe and creating an opportunity, a company, a coaching platform, a community of women, people that step out there that want to become part of what you've created. And so this is really now talking about how you've created this mission for Love Living, what it means, and why people are so drawn to it to change their lives.
Yeah, and that resonates so much, just hearing you say that, understanding how like this compilation of our stories, of our life, of our experience, help us to create that mission, to understand it so fully. And Love Living, is this really beautiful puzzle, this compilation of all of my experiences that have led to the belief, like the teachers who have gotten me here, the friends and the family and the connection, but most importantly, the experience with working with my clients and my people, to create this understanding of like wanting to ignite the world with love, and having it start first with me and like cultivating that within myself in order to then share it with other people. And then that just leads to more experience, which leads to more more sharing of love.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that kind of, it's a spark. The igniting is such a part of love living also, because if you just take love living and look at it, like, love is that first part. It is the essence. It's the spark. And then the living is like, it's how do you incorporate love into as a way of life, living life through love and loving the life that you live. It's all of it. And that's really the essence of the mission, is like igniting love within your life, within you, because you are your life, and then sharing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I found along the way to becoming me, I'm still learning, is that I used to think that I was or I had to do this journey alone. I did. I thought, I come from a generation of people which learn how to suck it up, march on, pull it together, right? Make sure, especially my business career, as an executive of a Fortune 100 company, is we're told, leave your business stuff at the door. Now, for somebody like me, oh boy, that was so hard to do until one day in 1992, as an executive, I didn't do it anymore. And I put my foot down. I drew a line in the sand. And I said, it is not okay to fire this woman with 29 years and 11 months of service, 1 month away from a full pension. It is not the right thing to do in, corporate America. It's just not the right thing to do. Now, we've now known that, okay, yeah, it has now become the right thing to do. But each of us have a crossroad, a tipping point, something that happens to us where we decide we're going to make a difference. What was that for you?
I think there's been a few, but the one that sticks out so much to me right now, especially seeing as I'm talking to you now, in October of this year, I've been doing a lot of solo travel, and I went to Zion and went hiking in Zion in a camper van by myself. And I was flying home from that trip with like this surge of energy, and I was watching Wonder Woman, which makes me cry because I love it so much.
Me too.
It's so powerful. It just gets me every time. But I'm sitting on the airplane, and I just have, after watching that movie, I had this like wave of energy come over me. And I'm like, okay, all right, Emily, it's time. Like, it is time to go global. It's time to step outside your little community, of which I adore, and start really connecting. Start connecting with everyone. And I think that was the most like pivotal moment in terms of stepping outside of the smaller sphere and going into the bigger sphere. And then right away, like, I was pulling some from cards from my Animal Spirit Tarot deck or Oracle deck. And the rest of my flight, I had people coming to the back of the plane to pull from my deck. It was just like this, like, okay, the energy showed up. I saw it, and I was like, okay. I said yes to this crazy, like, let's connect with the universe and everyone possible. Yes. And then all of a sudden, these people just started coming, and I started talking to the stewardesses, and people from the flight kept coming back, and they were like, hey, can I pick from your deck? Can I pick from your deck?
Oh, gee, wow.
Yeah, it was really pretty magical. It was really pretty cool. And I, in that moment, realized, okay, like, this is your path. Say yes and just keep saying yes. Just keep saying yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's something in the power of saying yes that both you and I have had to experience. And, how brave and courageous is that of you to be able to step out and do that? Because a large part of our lives, and maybe this is different for you, but a large part of my life was sitting on the sidelines for things like that. I was really good at getting in the game, Emily, when it came to work and sports and things like that. But when it came to my own passion, my own purpose, my own artistry, it really does take courage to do what you did. I mean, there was an energy and a sign from that helped move you to the next level, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's been a lot of beautiful signs, and so much of the signs actually also get reflected back to me from my clients.
Mm-hmm.
They are my, oh my gosh, it's hard to explain how much I love my clients, but in all three facets of my practice, both the beauty, the Reiki, and the coaching, I just absolutely adore my clients, but they so much are my signs. Mm-hmm. They're my true north a lot of the time to help me know that, okay, you're in it. You're in the flow. You're in alignment. You're good. But the moment on the plane was one, and then ironically enough, too, a week after that plane ride, I got my email from Jessica, and the Transformation Network showed up. And I was like, oh, all right. You wanted to go global? Here you go.
I mean, isn't that interesting? I mean, for me, I dialed the wrong phone number, and people think, what does that even mean? And all I'm trying to say is, well, what that means is I didn't hang up. I dialed the wrong phone number and I didn't hang up. And I'm not the kind of person, or at least I wasn't then, the kind of person that would just hang out on phone lines with people that are calling you, right? I mean, it's not, how do we say it? I do have a little bit of a personality that can do that. But generally speaking, when you get a wrong phone number, you just say, I'll see you later. You move on. But I didn't. And you said yes to the exploration of things. When we come back, I want to talk with you a bit about what does it mean to step into the exploration of things? What does it mean to ignite your whole being? How often do we not stop to see the signs in front of us, the emails, the phone life, the phone numbers, all of the above? The fact that I would transpose a number, well, I do that, but that I would transpose a number and dial in to an internet-only station in 2003 and pull out a credit card and pay a lot of money for a 13-week internet radio show once a week. The way that happens is indescribable. There's no logic on the planet for those of you listening today that are trying to find the magic solution for you to live your dream. The idea that Emily and I are talking about is sometimes you need to work with people, as I was at the time, that are helping you tap into your intuition. And what happens next? You ignite your whole being. That's what Emily does. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Curious about the meaning of life? Do you want to deepen your spiritual practice? The School for Esoteric Studies offers online training to spiritual seekers from all paths of life and individual coaching. Our courses synthesize Eastern and Western spiritual traditions based on meditation, study, and service applied to everyday life. The school also organizes group meditations each year to benefit humanity. Whether you're just beginning to reflect on the spiritual side of your life or are a more experienced spiritual seeker, the school warmly welcomes you to join our group. To learn more about our courses and services, please visit esotericstudies.net. That's esotericstudies.net.
On the cutting edge of the new mainstream, Christine Upchurch is passionate about bringing together science, psychology, and spirituality in a way that can be applied to our everyday lives for true transformation. The Christine Upchurch Show, stellar conversations to illuminate your journey, engages some of the most outstanding visionaries on the planet in lively dialogue to inspire you to become that bright light you're meant to be. Join Christine every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time on KKNW, AM 1150, and Transformation Talk Radio.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
A word of caution: if you prefer the status quo and you are not interested in improving every aspect of your life, this book will trigger the shift out of you. The Truth is Funny, Shift Happens is available now. Author Colette Steffen brings the powerful knowledge and life-changing energy and empowerment from the radio airwaves to the pages of her new book. To get your copy in paperback or ebook, visit thetruthisfunny.com today.
Amber Teal, founder of The Healthy Edge, is bringing you the hit show Healthy Edge Radio, living with power, passion, and purpose. Amber provides the support and tools necessary for you to finally release the weight and emotions that are hidden beneath the weight. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio. For more information on how you can take the next step with Amber, visit getthehealthyedge.com.
She's the only one that I've been dreaming of. Maybe someday she will be all mine. I wanna tell her that I love her so. I thrill with her every touch. I need to tell her she's the only.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Emily Perkins in the house. Now, listen, no matter what you're facing in the world, we can relate to it. And part of relating to it is because we've been through it. But when you get clear on there being a difference, of there being people that you can work with and get help to understand your whole being, then we do it. Emily, thank you for joining us here today. I'm excited about your show. But this idea to ignite our whole being, it really means, in the examples I gave, part of my being is my intuition and knowing when to hit the pause button. And if I can't count on both of those as part of my whole being, and sometimes put logic aside, I know that I'm not going to move forward. And you help people do this.
Something I'm really passionate about, actually, it's a big focus of my practice is helping people to cultivate that, to cultivate that intuitive knowing of hey, do I really want to go out and find a new job? Do I want to even buy that house? Or even, is this person right for me? Trusting that intuitive voice is definitely a part of the whole being that we talk about when we talk about igniting it. Yeah, and your intuition's like that spark. It is the spark that lights the flame inside of your being.
Yeah, and part of that too is we don't even know what we don't know, especially if we're looking at ourselves. And let's say, like in my case, looking at myself at some point in time and thinking, I've never had a diagnosis like this before. I don't know what to do. I don't know who to talk to. Where do I go next? And I know you help people see that these events that show up in our lives are not really our lives. They're simply that. They're an event. And there's a solution or there's a possibility to them, right?
Yeah, and usually a really beautiful gift and a message in it. I really truly believe there are no coincidences, and our bodies and our energies and our minds, they give us little gifts and hints all the time. And part of it is just getting present enough to really hear it and see it and be with it and then get the gift from it. what is that? What is the illness giving you? Or, because, I know that my mom has struggled really with kind of like an unknown illness over the past year, and it rocks you to the core.
Yeah. I mean, I did too. I mean, for me, it was the famous mystery disease, right? And, intuitively, I found Dr. Darvish here, a fabulous natural practitioner. And so then it didn't become a mystery anymore. So often in our lives, that's what happens. We have these mysteries that show up. But understanding they're part of our whole being, that's the work you do. This idea of, when we talk about the word holistic, what does that mean from your perspective?
At this point, it's like this, it's just a way of life. It is that intertwining and interconnectedness of the mind, body, and soul. So it's not just how you move your body and exercise and eat. It's, how you interact with people. It's how you cultivate your emotional being. Are you listening to your feelings? Are you tuning into your heart? Are you thriving and invigorating your mind? Are you being the watcher and getting curious? It's the way that they all connect and meet each other. So it's like the whole way of experiencing life, not just through the lens of rationality, not just through the lens of spirituality, but through the interconnected lens of them both.
Yeah.
And being as that too, like as the concept of being is really just defined as existence or the nature, essence of something. And as an ontological coach, ontology is the study of being. And that's really what you dive into. It's that concept of who are you as a whole, not as a thinker or a doer or a feeler, but as a whole being that experiences all of those things.
And that's really the key to the world of possibilities, period. I mean, that's how we get, instead of problem solving, it's possibility exploring. Possibilities don't come with challenges. They come with just that. Possibilities of life, possibilities of living, possibilities of success, possibilities of a future. And thank you for bringing all of that to the forefront. Emily, thank you for today. One last question. What is your personal message? And what would you like to leave us with today? And please give out your website again.
Oh, my personal message is I love you. That is my personal message. Like, whether I've met you or not, I love you. And that is my purpose, is to let you know how much you're loved. It's my favorite part about what I do, is getting to love people and allow them to feel the love of their own spirit. And my information is through my website at lovelivingholistic.com. You can also email me. I love getting emails, actually, especially tell me your story. I want to know you. I want to know what's going on. Connecting is my favorite thing in the whole world, with strangers, people I know, all of the above. So my email is emily@lovelivingholistic.com. And if you'd rather talk on the phone, I'd love a chat. And my number is 401-480-1676.
Awesome. Emily, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us here today. I want to thank all of you for tuning us in and turning us on. And by the way, if you've missed any part of this, please make sure you catch it later on tonight on the Transformation Network. I'm Dr. Pat. And again, I'm with Emily on this. You are the best listeners on the planet, and it is an honor to connect with all of you. All right, everybody, we will see you next time.
Should an apple off my head?
The preceding audio was via a Skype call.